This Monday, instead of heading to the city park for fireworks, I headed to the Brainard Lake Recreation Area with my friend Javier to check out the Lake Isabelle Glacier Trail. Because we got started relatively late in the day, we opted not to hike a longer trail, but instead to hike to Lake Isabelle, a 4-mile round trip. I thought it would be a brief hike because the terrain was rated as easy to moderate, which it was, but when we reached Lake Isabelle, it was so beautiful that we hung around for several hours in the area, enjoying the tolerable high 60s temperatures, different from the mid-90s at lower elevations. It's amazing that something so beautiful is only 2 miles off an easily accessible road, though Brainard Lakes and Indian Peaks wilderness certainly lack the solitude of many backcountry destinations. On the 4th of July, it was hard to get a parking spot in the Long Lake Trailhead lot in mid-afternoon. Although it's July, there's still snow around the lake, though it is slippery from being in a state of near meltedness, as you can see from Javier sliding down the hill. Near Lake Isabelle, the terrain gets slightly rocky, but the beginning of the trail is extremely well graded, and even at its most challenging, I would not rate it anything more than easy to moderate. This would be a great family hike, and indeed, I saw many people out with their children to enjoy the weekend. Still, at the top, it was surprising how quiet it really was, considering that it was a holiday and very nice weather. On an average weekday, I imagine you could find sufficient alone time to feel you were getting a retreat into nature, however brief, and I'm still stunned how easy this place was to access. There are beautiful cascades along the trail that cut into the mountainside and would make for some great drinking water if you brought your water filter. There are some spots on the mountain that also make for excellent sunset viewing, as you can see from the people waiting among the rocks. The area also had plenty of wildlife. At Lake Isabelle, there were large rodents, which I think were groundhogs, but I'm not certain, swimming in the water and basking around. As we left Brainard Lake, we also saw 2 moose grazing very near the road. This one was the only one close enough to the road to get a decent shot of, but as you can see, it wasn't too far, though no one got out of their cars to approach the moose, which I was glad about. He seemed totally unperturbed by the cars watching him, and continued grazing as if the road was not immediately next to him. I didn't realize moose were a common sight in Colorado, but apparently they are out there. I'd love to hear any other suggestions you have for day hikes in Colorado, especially now that it's the time of year for it. Thank you for watching. Happy trails!